How long has it been since the last drawing themed video? Oh, it's been that long. I want to share some things because writing and drawing is what I like to do, and there's a few people who are interested in what I'm doing. In case you didn't know, I've been doing some digital drawings for a year now. There won't be any character bios this time around, as it mainly consists of drawings that are works in progress, illustrations that have been updated, and others that have been rejected entirely. Let's start with the reject for a virus-type villain design because that's not what I want. The idea was to make something that was like a sentient computer virus, but this leans more at a pathogen type. So this is scrapped. Maybe I can use it for something else. I know it looks cool, but this is a case where I dedicated a lot of time trying to come up with a design and it doesn't match what I envisioned. It happens. It honestly really sucks when you struggle to come up with something. You have an idea, but you just can't realize it into a form you like. I've shown these 3 illustrations before, which I improved in every step. The following character is a similar example. Are you familiar with the zombie ant mushroom called Ophiocordyceps? You probably are. I wanted to create a villain using that ability, and the frustration shows. This is a villain that took me 4 attempts to make it right. At one point it was going to be an influencer type of villain called Influenza, but that's a whole different thing from the mushroom. I wasn't sure if the host's body would be a revived person with ant-like appendages or wears clothing that resembles an ant. For example, in this picture, the headphones was to appear like ant antenna. She was supposed to be an annoying person that received a lot of attention on the web and manipulate others. But she ended up being so abhorrent that I couldn't bring myself to like this design. After a few attempts, I eventually came up with this monstrosity, and now I'm happy. There's even a mushroom on her head, which the previous drawings lacked. The only surprising thing that I didn't see coming was her massive scale. This is actually input I got from my sister, and I agree with it. The troubling part was the name, which took me some time to figure out how to condense Ophiocordyceps. And then I found out that sep is a word for mushroom, so I stuck with that. Sep. When it comes to writing, sometimes your creativity will take you places you didn't expect. After a while, your passages gain a life of their own and you need to make some changes. Last year I displayed the silencer whom I struggled with her gun design. But the thing I had to change are her boots. I came up with something involving snakes, and for that to work, her boots need to be made of snakeskin. And the boots she's wearing don't look like snakeskin, but now they do. I originally was going to make the scale circular, but I wasn't able to make that look good. I decided to go the cross-hatching route because that's really easy for me. I think this might be complicated for some people, but I have fun with that. Now the question is, will she be updated again with fringe gloves? Time will tell. Here's another update with slight enhancements on wardrobe and proportions. Doberwoman is one of the earliest digital drawings I did, and you can tell by my lines and coloring. I eventually gave her the appropriate highlights and shading with some trial and error, but I also fixed her hands, spike collars, and footwear. I think the boots are a little too simple, but at the same time, I kinda don't need to add more stuff to her. For a while her design was like this and I felt she might be done. But as I was adding more muscles to her sleeves, I started to feel that her pants were kinda flat looking. There's something I really like about the black contrast, and the one time it looks well done in animation is in One Piece with the CP9 members. I'm sure there's other good examples out there from either Craig McCracken or Gendy Tartakovsky, but I can't recall anything. One Piece used a very strong solid black that stands out, but it doesn't have any outlines to differentiate the details of the suit. Usually there's either a white or blue line to help guide the eyes, but Toei Animation somehow made it look nice. Seeing this made me feel it was okay to leave the pants as is. But when it's put against the 3-dimensional muscles, the pants kinda look one-dimensional. It's as if the half body is sculpted in plastic while the legs are flat paper. Adding highlights and shadows to the pants is something I'm still adjusting to. Not many characters I drew have additional detail to the legs. Even so, I decided to give Doberwoman a new pair of pants, and it looks good. Part of me wonders if I should add more red to greater match the jacket sleeves, but then I also thought, if I add any more red, then it'll just take the attention away from the black. I think she's about 95% done. There's still some minor adjustments needed to completely finish her. And we arrive at the manly portion of the video, which consists of 2 characters. One is 100% done and the other probably a 50. Like Doberwoman, this other character has been shown before being the villain called Thu. Here's the original drawing that I showed back in 2022. And 1 year later, here's the update. Yeah, he got a major overhaul. Even his pants are a different color, which is a first for me. Getting his legs and hair the right size was the most difficult part, as I went through numerous revisions. I wanted to get this just right because he's a really big guy. How big is he? These characters are so tall. And here's Thu. That's how big he is. Big! I also experimented with a weapon accessory, along with a little bit of shadow. So I have a few variant illustrations with a single chain, without the chain, or a bunch of chains. I like how he turned out, and he's levels beyond the original image. Lastly is a new character based on the Gigantopithecus, or Giganto for short. If you don't know what this is, it's basically an extinct ape that was really big. This Giganto drawing frustrated me the most because I didn't know what colors to give him. I also changed a lot of his fur. I kept erasing things, adding things, and it became this big experience of throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks. I gave a tease of this guy in an earlier video which featured a close-up with a lot of cross-hatching. The current drawing is about halfway done as he needs the rest of his body. I already have an idea what to draw down there, but I also have to refine the skull mask he's wearing. But the good news is that I found the colors that worked for me. Even so, I still gotta practice the same old things, expressions and poses. Unfortunately, whenever I come up with a character design, most of them are just standing up in a neutral position. Flagged is one of the pictures I've done that's already in a pose, but looking back at the original drawing, yeah, I could improve the line work. So stay tuned in the future as I update my channel with new videos, and sooner or later, some kind of pilot has to show up here. My name is Alex, and once again, thank you to my patrons, and a thank you to everyone else who watches my channel, The Anime Hero.